So, yo, here we go. Top of the morning, top of the morning, top of the morning. Man, I keep getting a lot of things on this anger. On anger. I can really talk on this one, as I'm sure a lot of us could. Man, all I know is that we should try to train the mind to more explain the anger instead of express it. Explain it instead of express it. When you do that, instantaneously, you open the door to solutions instead of arguments. What you talking about? Well, when you expressing it, that means you going straight off. She going off, you going off. So y'all ain't getting nowhere. Y'all gonna just keep colliding. Nothing's gonna come of that. Matter of fact, it's gonna get worse and become more disastrous. But when one of the two parties decide to explain the anger, and in explaining, check this out, this is tricky. Because in explaining, what you really doing is saying, how hurt you made me. See, when we angry, we actually hurt. And for men, 90%, because we don't know how to express ourselves properly the right way, that goes all over the place. Actually, I really believe, what's that saying to go, don't put off tomorrow what you can do today? Well, anger is one of those things that you should put off until tomorrow. Meaning that stop, think before you speak. Because words cut deeper than any knife could ever cut. I'd have been told that by this slick mouth I got. Because I can get there only because I've been raised by a lot of women. You dig? So I can go there just as bad as the next woman can. But what happens is, as men, our mouths ain't slick like that. So we do things that we shouldn't do, and we use our hands, not making excuses. We use our hands because we didn't get cut up so bad. We don't know how to deal with that. We don't know how to process that. And I'm not making an excuse. We don't process that properly, and we use these instead of these. And that becomes very disastrous. And you can never come back for that sometimes. And words are just as bad too, because I done been told, man, I rather you did this, pushed me this, instead of said them words, because them words, they sit there. They sit there. They don't go nowhere. They don't go nowhere. I know this, and it's going to be hard for people to accept as well too. If someone is meeting you with anger and you meet them back with anger, it's never going to work. It's going to be a problem. One of the parties got to have a level head and put the fire out. Because if both people putting fire with fire, it's just going to get worse. It's going to get worse and worse. Someone has to have the level head in a situation to level the anger. And then at the end of the day, at some point, it don't matter who was right and who was wrong, because anger is just like a bad habit. It's just like smoking. It's like poisoning yourself. You stay angry, you angry all the time. And then when you turn around and look at it, you became a bitter person, and a person who you weren't even actually in the get-go, and you didn't took that on so much now. You don't even know your own self. No, the other person can't even recognize you because you didn't let that anger take you over. And in reality, you made yourself angry because of the way you perceived the situation. Huh? We perceive it. So if we acclimate our thinking, we ain't got to respond to it to keep looking at it that way and taking it on that way. So instead of expressing it let's explain it to where we both can come to a mutual ground. Because anger don't solve nothing. It don't build nothing. But it sure do destroy everything. Destroy y'all friendship y'all had. Destroy y'all companionship, your love ship. It's real hard. I can go a lot of ways on it. Just ask yourself this. The way that mad as you are, if you would have died tomorrow, was it worth the time of you being that angry? If you would have died tomorrow, was it worth that? And if you can look at that and answer that truthfully to yourself, I think you'll have your solution right there. Because in actuality, here's the whole thing in a nutshell with men anyway. When they say, I hate you, or even when they say, I hate you, all they're saying is, you hurt me. You know what I'm saying? Ain't really no hate. There would have to be some real dog stuff going on for the hate to come into play. And if that has happened, then that union don't need to happen no more anyway. That needs to go this way and go that way. So I could speak a whole lot on this anger thing because it could go a lot of ways. But let's explain ourselves instead of expressing ourselves. Blessings to y'all. Catch me on Fitted Snapback Talk 70 on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, or type in davidmerrijr.com. Man, I could go a whole lot of ways with this one, but that's why I went.